Alright friends, welcome back to the Sawmill. Let's go over these drag back arms. Had a lot of questions in the last video about that, and I probably didn't explain it well enough. Some people were kind of confused in what they do. So let me go over a few things real fast and answer some of these questions, and I'll show you guys what we're doing today. Alright, so one of the big questions I got was this thing a big waste of money? You've already got the drag back arm in the front. Well, it's not a waste of money, and the reason being, these fingers are not dragging the boards back. There's no real tension right here as far as dragging anything back. The main thing they're going to do, these middle ones right here, will rest on top of the board, and they put a little bit of weight on the board, not a whole lot. Kind of helps guide it back, but the major thing that they do is on the end right here. As you can see, this is lined up with the bat stops, and it falls down on this side of whatever I'm sawing, and it keeps the board from coming this way. So if this is hanging down, these are going to be up in the air, and this is hanging down. If the board tries to come toward me on the operator's side when it's coming back, there's no way it can do that because it's going to hit against this, and these fingers will not move in that plane. They only go back and forth, not sideways. So that's the main thing they do. And some more comments I got on this was people saying they could just build this themselves and save the money. I think one person might have said for $100 they could build it. Maybe you could. If you could, that's great. I'm not a welder. I'm not a machinist. A lot of these parts right here would take a little time to build if you done it from scratch. I just don't have that time, and I like to be sawing, not building parts. I'm not a welder or nothing like that either, but maybe you could. I don't know. Another question I had was the wear and tear on the bed right here, and it's really not bad. These are aluminum right here on the end. They don't really hit the bed too hard. They just kind of drag on it, so I don't see any problems in wear and tear on the bed either. That should be okay. But the biggest question was, people just thought this was a waste of money, and why am I doing this if I already have the drag back arm, which is right there. And that's the biggest reason, is just to guide these boards back. If you go back to previous videos, a lot of the time, there you guys are, a lot of the time I would have to reach up there and grab that board. Yeah, it happened a lot. And a lot of times when I'm not videoing, when I'm sawing up here, I would have to leave the left hand on the controller, reach out to grab the board, or it'd go sideways and either fall off the ramp, or it'd hit the control station, or hit the cables. I mean, it was a real pain. And in my opinion, the drag back feature on these mills is not complete without these fingers. I think Wood-Mizer should put those on every one of the mills that had the drag back arm on them. And another question, somebody asked why I had to alter it by having the guy down the road, cut this off where it was right here originally and move it over. And the reason being, this is made for an LT70. It's not made for an LT40. LT70 is a totally different sawmill than what we're looking at right here. It's a lot bigger mill. It's got a bigger engine, a bigger frame, bigger saw head. And on the LT70, it mounts over here. I'm not sure where we're at, because I don't have an LT70 at my disposal to go look at. But I had to mount mine over here. That was the best location for it. On the LT70, it mounts right there under the engine, and I'm assuming that plate is probably a lot thicker on the 70. Therefore, the way it's lined up and built, these fingers fall directly over the bat stops with no problem. They build this for the 70. They don't build these for the 40. So that's why I had to modify it. Having said that, I'm going to change one more thing on it. I'm going to take it off the sawmill or run it downtown to the maker space. My buddy Freddie's going to be down there today. And he's been in my videos before. I've been in some of his. He's about 20 minutes from here. He's got a channel called Got It Made. I'll leave a link down below to his channel. He's been on YouTube a lot longer than I have. And he's going to be down at the maker space today. He's actually one of the guys that runs that place during the week. And he's got a welder down there. He's got a portaband. And we're going to do one more modification to this. And I think it's going to be perfect after that. Let me show you what we're going to do. So the way I got it on the mill, I think it's back just a little too far. The space between the fingers and the blade is about 50 inches. I want to bring that in a little bit because I do a lot of short logs here. That way I can catch all the logs, not to bring the saw head to the end of the mill in order to catch the boards. So we're going to run it down to the maker space. Freddie's going to come in here with a portaband and cut this off and take out about 4 inches and re-weld it. And that's going to make the main bar right here 4 inches closer to the blade. So that will decrease the travel distance on the sawmill, so when we clear our cut, we don't have to go to the very end of the mill. We can come right up as soon as these right here pass the board and grab it and guide it right back. So that's what's going on this morning, and it's about 9:30. I gotta meet him down there at 10. And we'll come back here, reinstall it, which is pretty easy. We got a shear bolt and about 2 pins up there. And I think I'm going to adjust it also. You can see it's got a little bend right there. I'm going to make one more adjustment and make this level with the arm on the same plane. I think it will track better once we do that. Once we do those 3 things, we'll come back up here and load up some of this nasty pine over here, guys. Got some nasty pine to saw today. We will do some more testing with that drag back on this pine. Got a white pine, a yellow pine, and another white pine over there. You should be able to go through these pretty fast though. With that drag back, it just makes things go so much faster. And you guys will see that when we get back here and I'll start sawing these up.
If you remember anything from today, I want you to remember this, Nathan. A grinder and paint will make you the welder you ain't.
Friends, I got it reinstalled and it looks a whole lot better. I went ahead and got the grease gun and shot some grease in there. Got that nice and lubricated. You can see what we've done here on the side. Freddie done a fantastic job of putting a weld on there. We took it off right at about 4 inches in length. And also I changed the configuration here, so now This piece here and the part that's mounted to the sawmill is on the same plane. And something else this does is a good safety feature. It's got a shear bolt right here at the top. And in case I lower this down on top of a log by mistake or hit the down button, I'm not paying attention, this has room now to go up in the air like that. That way I won't shear this pin or put this in a bind. And also it does not hit this little mounting plate that the radiator with the AM bar is mounted to right there. So we're in good shape right there as well. To give you an idea of how far that comes back, by taking out those 4 inches, bring the sawmill back, and that's about as far back. That's actually further than I usually do bring it back. So as you can see, I'm standing right here operating it, and we're still about 3 feet away from the nose breaker right there. So I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I'm done doing any fabrication or modifications to it, or hiring somebody to do it rather. That looks pretty good. Let's saw up some pine and see how it does. All right, friends, here's what we got. I went ahead and got this down to a 6-inch cant. A little bit of wane there on top. We'll work through that as we start cutting our boards. So we're cutting 1x6s out of this, and this pine does not look too bad right here. It's been on the ground for the biggest part of last year. This right here just worked out perfectly on this log. It had a sweep on the far end down here, and I left that alone on purpose. That way we could have an odd shape right here to grab onto with the drag back and see if it works good on the log. It's got issues like this on the end. I think it's going to be okay though based on what I've seen so far. But as you can see right there, when it starts dragging back these first few boards, or actually just about every one of them, the drag back arm is going to be grabbing onto this bark right here. It's not going to be a real flat area to grab onto, and it's going to rely on those fingers a whole lot to keep those boards straight as they come back. And what I'm going to do is just set up the camera back there and probably throttle down and just keep sawing and see how fast we can saw this up with that new feature, and hopefully the boards will come back good and straight. But as you can see on this face right here, there's a lot of wane right here, but we will still get some decent 1x6s out of this. So not too bad. A lot of notch right there though. So this will be a good test, guys. Let's see how it does.